the series has gone really well. All the cars have been delivered back to their owners. I think they actually might still be working as well, which is a great thing.
It's been a sad one as well, actually. We've had a lot of emotional journeys. The Lotus Elise one, the S1 Elise.
Yeah, unfortunately, we lost the nominee and one of the nominators actually.
Yeah,
so it's it just shows that, you know, when we do these cars, the stories behind them are not just bull. You know, they're the real deal actually, and these people are quite often in trouble, or they really have been great people.
My theory on cars is when people say to me, what's your favourite car? I don't have a favourite car, because we've learnt from Car SOS that all cars have a certain environment and they fit in a certain place. Like if we were going to go on a road trip now, what would we take?
I'd like to take my pre-war Humber 1650, yeah.
Okay, so that would suit a road trip, but you wouldn't take a Fiat 500. But a Fiat 500 would suit, like a classic one, would suit when we were in Italy and we were bombing around the little streets there.
They're great for that, yeah.
So what is my favourite car? All of them. I am absolutely and utterly addicted to anything with 4 wheels on it.
I would say fitting the wrong tyres to their car. Or fitting
wrong oil.
Big fat tyres.
Wrong oil's another good one. Yeah. This guy was driving down the road, and he was up to the first knuckle, and the idiot actually put his elbow on the centre part of the steering wheel where the airbag is.
Yeah.
You can guess the rest. He had a crash.
Yeah.
And he got right up to the third knuckle, right inside his nose. He lived, but it was a very, very ugly story.
I should imagine so. Yeah. Lou Reed walked on stage once saying hi to the whole band.
You might be impressed.
In Australia.
You might be impressed.
Of course,
Listen, I've got a good one for you. You're going to hate me for this.
Go on then.
He's name dropping, but I have one that can put all of those to bed.
Go on then.
And it's yours.
Right.
And it's something that you did to somebody. Now, whether or not you'll admit to it on camera is another thing, because it'll end up with him getting in the newspapers here. But there's a very famous politician. He brought about something called the Boris Bike in London. His name is Boris Johnson. Now, Fuzz did something to Boris Johnson, which I don't know whether he'll admit on camera, but I'm praying to God he will. Fuzz, give us the 30-second lowdown of what happened to Boris Johnson's pint.
Back in the early 1980s, or early to mid-1980s, I was doing a recording session for a chap called Jean-Robert Jovenet, a chap no longer with us. And Lee Pepper, his keyboard player, and his girlfriend had sort of offered to put me up overnight. So I was staying around at theirs. And anyway, they said, we're going down to the pub if you want to come down with us. So I said, yeah, I'll come down to the pub. And Lee's girlfriend said, look, I've got to meet the youngest member of the House, actually, House of Parliament, just briefly while I'm down there. But, you know, I hope you don't mind if that's all right. So, yeah, OK, cool, no problems. So off to this pub we went, somewhere in South London, can't remember. This chap who was indeed a young blonde guy kind of thing.
Boris.
Yeah.
Say it.
Johnson.
Yes,
and then he arrived as it was my round. So I said, would you like a drink? And I was drinking a pint of real ale. And he said, what was that like, kind of thing? I said, yeah, that was pretty good. He said, I'll have one of those. Went to the bar. The barrel had to be changed. So I brought out my friend's drinks, and they were on shorts, gin and tonics or something like that. And then I had to go back in for the pints. I got the pints, and I turned around and I noticed that to my left, on the way out, was the gents' toilets. Now I did need a wee. And I thought, I'm gonna go into the loo. And then when I was in the loo, I thought, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. I have a politician here. Doesn't matter which hue of politician, I have a politician here. I'm going to do something. I dipped my knob in Boris Johnson's pint and then topped it up with mine. And went out, handed him his pint and drank a little bit of mine to show that
and he doesn't know that.
Anything.
Nobody knows that. This is the first time I've ever managed to persuade Fuzz to talk about this on camera, so that is absolutely
So yeah, I dipped Boris Johnson's pint. The best one I did though was when I dipped Tim's pint the other day. He doesn't know about it yet.
He's never bought me a pint, that won't be true.
I reckon that it kind of evens out at somewhere between 750 and 800 hours.
Yeah.
Some cars, there are exceptions that, double that. And there are one or two that sort
Mercedes
of maybe
Pagoda was about 1,500 hours.
Yeah, 1450 that was.
That
I
was
think
a
the
nightmare.
MGA was 1550.
Yeah.
The Lamborghini Espada was similarly sort of 15 or 1600.
You could actually manage to put 3,000 hours into the restoration of the car if you were doing it yourself. My Lotus Esprit. What do you want to know about it?
Well, where is it? What happened to it?
Some bloke bought it.
Some bloke bought it, but how did the bloke buying it
Okay,
come
well,
down?
I'll tell you what happened. So I used to do this very controversial radio show in the Midlands. In fact, I had quite a lot of firings from radio stations. I think I got fired from about 13 or 14 radio stations for saying things I shouldn't have said. But one of the things that happened was I used to get different ladies on the programme to present the show with me all at different times. And one of them happened to be Jodie Marsh. And Jodie Marsh and I got on quite well. So let me rewind a little bit. I was massively into cars, and all the money I saved from radio, I used to buy classic cars with, or a couple of cars. I bought a Lotus Esprit S4, which was my second one, and the first Lotus I got was just an 89 Esprit Turbo. Now, that was in my name. I wanted to get another one, so the trick was to put it in my missus's name and tell her I bought her a car that she didn't want, but it was a nice way of persuading her that I could have two and she'd think she was a part of it.
So you bought a car and you put it into
In her name,
yeah.
I bought you a car, I don't want it. Oh, it's a shame. Oh, well, I'll have it then. It's one of those kind of things. So anyway, me and Jodie Marsh were getting on pretty well at the time. My missus tuned well. So she tuned in and heard something that she knew was rather inappropriate. She'd had lots to drink that night. Blah, blah, blah. One thing led to another. It ended up on eBay.
Who'd had loads to drink?
My missus at home, who never tuned into my radio show at all. It was
I can believe that.
Yeah. That's how we got to know each other, actually. But anyway, then she put it on eBay and flogged it cheaply.
Now, I heard that there's a little bit more to this story. Didn't you profess that you would do anything for a night with Jodie Marsh live on radio or something like that? Wasn't it something like that you said?
I don't know. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. And then wasn't your then wife listening, and she decided to put your Lotus on eBay for a buy it now price of 50 pence, so long as
something like that.
So long as
something like that.
Somebody bought it before the end of your radio show.
It rings a bell.
That's what it was.
It was something
that was
like
what
that.
It was, yeah.
I don't remember, but I do remember, like 3 days later, my brother rang me from Italy saying, "Why is your face on the front of all the Italian newspapers looking like a helmet?"
I
was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, that'll be me. And that was because when I got home, the Lotus had gone. Some guy from Rugby had picked it up, apparently. I found this out later. She'd sold it for 50 pence. And yes, it's gone.
Just desserts.
So Wheeler Dealers, guys, there is Mike.
Yeah.
And there is Ant now.
Yeah, that's right.
And there was Ed.
Yeah, there was, yeah. Do you reckon we could take all three of them on?
Well, I don't know. I don't know, because Ed's massive.
Well, you're tall.
I'm nearly 6'6".
I reckon we get his legs from under him. He'd be down.
Yeah.
He'd be down. Car show celebrity wrestling match. That would be great, wouldn't it? Should we do that?
No, but I wouldn't want to get all clammy with Michael, with Ant,
Yeah,
or with
we
Ed.
can
I
get
need
our- we
them
can
all
get ourselves-
sticky and
we-
icky,
we
like
get in those
horrible
little tiny-
pigs in a ring.
We can get
That's
in little
hideous.
trunks.
No.
We could get in our little trunks,
Big
and then we could cover
sticky
ourselves
men.
in butter, and then we could have a wrestle. What's not to like about that? If you love this, subscribe. Subscribe now.
Hello.
Below. You think that's
I hope
great?
you guys can PR the shit out of that story.
We're going to.